Sorry, I'm back. I'll keep going now. Uh, it's 6:06. It's still Wednesday, April 5th, 2023. Mom just called me to cut my phone off so I could go order the food. Anyways, it's getting dark. It's still raining. Let me keep going with the story now. Anyways, it's a good thing she called me then because my battery was gonna die. And I had to clear out my phone. I gotta make space to keep filming, right? Anyways, okay, I stopped with. She cut me off while I was talking about Basket and this energy and what's going on here. Okay. I hope you're following along with me on this, okay? My throat's really hurting. I don't know if I'll get to the point of the video where I need to talk about this shit. Okay, anyways, yeah, I was talking about something around the lines of like everything started to make sense, right? Like everything I saw beforehand, and then what he showed me, it's getting really dark. Okay, and then what he showed me, that night, that morning of fuck, I hate when I get cut off like that, because now, like, anyways, yeah, he showed me all of that, and I was saying how beforehand, I told you he couldn't, Jeffrey, I hope you're listening. I told you he couldn't come with me after I die, right? Like, I want to leave him behind here, but after he showed me that, we renegotiated terms, right? So after he showed me all of that, I was like, okay, now I understand what's going on. Like, me asking him to stay behind is like him telling me to live a long time. You know what I mean? Like, it's like awful to ask for, but he still agreed to it, right? So after he showed me that, I was like, I have to be so stupid to ask him not to come with me, right? So what was I saying? I said that feeling of trust, because I trust his opinion, that feeling never went away, right? That feeling, like, I trust his, like, having him as my second opinion. So instead of him, because originally, because I said I hadn't accounted for his energy, right? I totally forgot he was he's so good to me. It's ridiculous. Anyhow, so I didn't account for his energy, and I figured after I die, he should stay behind and look after this energy I can feel now, right? Like he would look after this person while I'm gone, right? But now after seeing this, I want him to, like, a couple hours. I don't know if that person knows if I read or not, right? So, like, I need to be in the room with this person and have a Basket there with me for a few hours just so he can give me a second opinion. And then after that, I don't know if it's on, because if I know I'm gonna go ahead of time, right? I'm gonna destroy the thing, okay? I'm gonna break the violin. I don't know if I should, like, it sounds crazy because it's like smashing it to bits is like, I'm comparing it to like our bodies, right? Like, if you wouldn't go up to somebody and, like, batter their body, you know what I mean? And then I was like, okay, maybe not do that. And then I was like, what if I like light the thing on fire and have it burn to bits, right? And I was like, I wouldn't do that to another person either, so I don't know what to do there. And if I destroy the thing now, it means I know I'm gonna be gone ahead of time, right? So, long story short, I'm really suffering here. I don't know when these like the energy going on now is making me wait a really fucking long time. It's pissing me off. So at the moment, I would go ahead and destroy the thing right now. But like, if I get to a point where I'm in a room and he's with me, and we're dealing with whatever this energy is, and then I somehow suddenly pass away after that, right? Make sure to destroy that thing. That's what I'm telling you. That night on the 13th, or the morning of, I wrote the note. I was actually gonna do it, right? So I wrote the note, and I made sure on the top to make sure this thing gets destroyed, because if it doesn't, I told you he's not a friendly spirit, so his energy's gonna go very violent if I leave him behind. It feels wrong too, because it's like he made it to the end, noticed I wasn't there, came back to help me. Because we were catching up, he was like, yo, how's it been? Like, because him showing me him being an adult, he was showing me like everything I missed out on, right? It's because we're catching up, he's filling me in on everything. I don't feel weird. I feel more comfortable now that he told me all of this stuff, right? And for me to leave him behind after he came to get me, right? It's like switching places, and I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. So I don't know if I explained that properly. I wanted him originally because I didn't account for his energy to look after this middle person, right? He doesn't give a shit. And then because he showed me this, and I was like, okay, you don't have to. I just need a second opinion on this energy here, because like if I ask another living person, I'm not gonna trust their judgment. And I know that already. I know it sounds so fucking up in the air, like I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, so we renegotiated terms there. He doesn't have to stay here, he can come with me. I was irritated too. He said you're having a he told me I was having a bad time here, and I told him yeah, and he said it's because I'm not here, and I was like, you asshole. So jokes. Anyhow, I was telling him too, my energy's getting worse. It's getting more and more negative the longer I live, right? So I was telling him I don't want to live long enough to feel an energy that'll make me hate myself, you know? Like the longer I stay around like toxic energy, the more I feel like I hate myself. I feel like a fucking monster. And then he told me, since I'm having such a bad time here, he chose that body because he told me I shouldn't let my dreams die. That's what he told me. So after that whole fucking story now, okay, this is me and my story with Basket. This is just like me. I can't talk about this with anybody else, right? People think you're fucking mental if you bring this shit up. So point of the story, what I'm telling you now after like explaining that, I need you to break I need you to break the I need you to free his soul from the body of that violin, right? If I don't do it, or if them ignore my words in that final note I leave behind, I need you to do that for me. Otherwise they're all fucked. Basket's holding all my negative energy, so they're all fucked because his energy on top of using mine is so fucked. Okay, that's the first thing I need to sorry, like that's the biggest favor I need to ask you, because I don't trust anyone else to do that, okay? And then second thing, I need your help testing out my energy. So normally what's a good example here? Okay, I'm gonna use you for example, okay? Just because I can't off the top of my head, the first thing I think of, like normally for me, remember when I held up the mirror card? We're going back to fucking mirrors again. Remember when I held up that card and I told you maybe it's like hand mirrors? So normally for me, I feel something like that for the person before they tell me anything, right? But I want to test it the reverse way, right? And everybody else is spiritually weak. I can feel it, right? But I know because me and you have a strong connection. So this is why I'm asking you this now. I know it sounds fucking crazy. And then I told you I don't know if you dream or anything, but I want to see if it works the reverse way. So I want to test it. And my energy doesn't feel solid enough, so I don't know if you'll see what I want you to see, okay? It's like if you give me a question, I fall asleep, I know the answer, and then I'll scare you by knowing the answer ahead of time, right? It's like if okay, say if like you were fuck, how am I, why is this so hard? Say you're working on the hand mirrors, right? And the question you ask me is what's a new product I'm working on, right? You don't tell me what it is, right? So say you give me that question, I fall asleep, um nothing happens, right? Maybe this time I don't see anything, but then I keep seeing hand mirrors show up, right? Like how I did in the card, right? Let's say for example I see that, then I come back to you and I tell you, is it this? And then you tell me I'm right, right? I want to see if that works the other way around. So instead of asking, what new product I'm releasing, my question for you now, because I want you to test this for me, I want to see if it works both ways. Because after Basket showed me that like my memories are hidden away, like there's something here I want to see, okay? Um, okay, my question for you, because after explaining this like a crazy fucking person, um, the morning of March 13th, right? That morning. So you're going back like a whole fucking month for me telling you this, right? Okay? That morning of, if I was gonna go through with it, I want you to tell me place. I need to know if you can see where, okay? Because at that moment it was so sudden. That's the question, is where, okay? Get back to me and tell me if you can see where. And then if I'll know if you get the right answer. If you get the right answer, then I know your connection to me is really strong. Meaning, remember how I told you I had a dream like I'm overlooking your future? Like how flowers does for me, and you can sense that I'm there. I want to test this. I have a feeling you'll get it right. Like you won't understand why, but I think you'll get it. Okay, I'll tell you what was going on. It was dark that morning. Okay, it was dark that morning. It was snowing. I was by myself. It was cold. All I need you to tell me. All I need you to do is tell me where. Okay, if you can see the location of where, then I'm like, okay, now I know. Because for sure, if you know, you'll see it. You'll see it. You'll keep coming across this shit like how I do with all the energy here. Okay, test that for me. That's the only two things I have to ask. I'm so fucking sorry. So like the next day when I messaged you, that's when I felt like I needed to tell you that, but I don't want to. I need to physically tell you that. I don't know how I'm supposed to long-windedly like explain that to you. I don't know if I should tell you this now or like when it might I don't know. Everything's like a what if up in the air type of fucking thing at the moment. I need to take a lot of so okay, I'm moving transitioning from that. We're talking about plants now, okay? My summer's gonna be ruined this year because dad's gonna have me stuck in the garden again. Every summer I'm stuck here, okay? And this year it's worse than every other year because the food's so fucking expensive and I'm gonna be a fucking farmer for the fucking summer. um right now green onion and mint look like they're made of fucking gold because they're selling green onion like it's so expensive now and I can't find mint anywhere. We're not growing food things, but I'm letting you know like I need you to know how to be able to grow mint. Okay, I need mint. I don't like it's to get rid of any unwanted visitors. You know like how you sage the fucking place? I need mint. Grow a shit ton of mint plants and then get back to me on that. Um I didn't realize like how sensitive my body is to certain plants. Like aloe, grass, pollen, that kind of shit. Anyhow. Anyway, so speaking of plants, I have to like I told you you're gonna need to help me with some photos. And like now I'm really feeling that, right? And like they're floral photos. I need you to help me with photos associated with that. So I don't know if I should tell you that now or wait till that happens because I don't know what's gonna happen. I need you to help me with photos linked to flowers, and it's really weird because like I can feel the energy syncing up with what I'm feeling when I'm listening to my playlist. I know it sounds fucking messed up, but I don't know. Because when I wrote the note, I couldn't stop crying because I was like, there's so like I kept listing off things I've never done. It's like I've never done this, this, and this. Um, and one of the things I put there, flowers in them told me I have to document everything going wrong now, right? So it's gonna end up becoming a note to like a fucking list, right? So I have to put the list there now. I have to put it together because normally I ignore the shit and things. But if I don't put that down there, um they're going to talk they're gonna oh fuck like they're gonna spread lies about me, you know? So they want me to document everything. And one of the things I wrote down was I'm gonna regret if I go now, I'm gonna regret that I left all these photos up in the air, right? Like I didn't have time to do that. And with you, like I feel the floral energy link there. So I don't know if I should tell you that now or later, but like there's a good amount there I need to do and I don't have like I'm not in that energy to work on it yet, you know what I mean? Anyhow, one of the things I saw, I don't remember, one of those nights I dreamt, I was like, because I was like regretting that I didn't get to take these photos because this lifetime I chose to give up my ability, like the like hand drawn ability, and I took the being able to use technology and cameras and things, right? And because I didn't get to take certain photos, like I feel like I'm gonna regret that because I have to do that now. And then I had a dream. Most people, because I've never traveled anywhere, right? I keep telling you, you guys keep showing me things I'll never see in this lifetime because I might go just now, right? Um, yeah, most people don't travel outside their country. So like in my dream, I dreamt like I'm taking pictures around here, but I don't know what specific landmark to highlight. You know, like if you go to Paris, the first thing they do is take pictures of like the tower, right? So like in my sleep, I'm trying to work out what would be like a good landmark, like a good point to like highlight, right? I don't know what to do there. But I can feel like I need to take these photos and I feel like my hands feel like they're tied because no one's allowing me to fucking go through and do this. Oh yeah, I told you about the 6 digit number thing. Okay. The other day, I don't remember when, I guess again, and I don't document dates and time and thing, right? So I said I told you I saw 6 digit numbers. Normally when I see that, it's either a passcode, right? Or it's like a date, right? Like month, year, date, whatever. You know, like it's 6 slots there, and I told you it felt more so like money, right? So I had Dad validate that for me. So the other day, right? We had he had to go do a job. Um, didn't know what was fucking wrong with the machine, right? He comes home looking at the schematics, and it's just like that day when he nearly fucked up my foot, right? I told him it's the exact same problem. He wouldn't listen to me. He's like, I've got years of experience. I don't need to fucking listen to you. And I was like, okay, you do you. I don't know why you're talking to me about this shit. So anyhow, while he's getting all huffy with his work, okay? Because that's what they all do. Every time they're all angry, they take their anger out on me, and I fucking hate that the most. Which is why that night I snapped and I was gonna go through with it, but because Basket was there, like I'm still here to talk, right? I want to go further into this, but I don't want anyone else hearing, so I can't talk about the rest. But anyhow, going back to this, so we're looking at the schematics of the machine, right? And while he's going through stuff, I ask him how much the machine he worked on cost, right? Um, he said the high end ones are millions of dollars, right? So like if he never takes me on those jobs because me just looking at it looks like I devalue the fucking thing, right? Like that's why he didn't take me on those jobs. So I'm going through like he's not paying attention to me, right? So he's asking him how much like a front loader costs, how much the backhoe costs, and then we get to skid steer, right? So I ask him now. At this point, I was like, how much does a skid steer cost? So we go from millions. I don't remember. This was a while ago, right? I think millions, half a million, and then when we get to skid steer, he said it's in the 6 digit range. So then it started to make sense, right? I was like, okay. He said skid steers are the cheapest ones, right? Anyhow, they're not cheap. These machines are really like crazy to maintain. So So anyways, I have to be right there, right? Like, it's probably, if I'm seeing 6 digits, it's probably, that's how much you had to probably spend to purchase that machine, right? I think that's sick though, that you had to go get it customized. That's so sick. When we work on things, we're usually the cheapest price, right? But the person who always brings their machine in thinks they're smarter than us, and then they always end up lying about how they damaged the thing, right? Usually it's from improper usage or lack of maintenance, right? Usually. The other one would be an actual system error. So that's not on them, but the first two would be on them, right? So then people come to us because at first we're the cheapest price and we know we're gonna be able to fix the machine, right? So when these people come to us for the cheap price and then they lie to us and don't tell us what the thing is and expect the thing to magically get fixed, our price ends up being the highest one by the end of it. Because if I'm dealing with someone who's really fucking irritating, it's like you're paying me for, first off, we know how to fix it. Second off, we're paying for time in our brains, right? So this is why the price keeps going up and up and up. So by the time, how, I don't know if I'm explaining this right. Like, so I guess this is why he's like taking the energy out on me, right? Because I'm like, the way he's describing it is, I wasn't even at the job site. The way he's describing it to me, it's exactly like the day when I was there, right? And when he went back to go and fix it, is the exact same problem. So, anyways, he said they called him in to service the machine, right? He goes to service it and it's got like 10 other problems. This guy doesn't tell him. He knows he's lying. Dad already knows that this dude's lying about why all these error codes are popping up, right? Because if it was a simple thing, it'd be one thing. But because so many of them are popping up at the same time, right? Like something's wrong here. It's a lot of work because, oh yeah, his tester broke too, so he's even more pissed because he like, it's hard to diagnose the machine without that because they'll give you the error codes and whatnot, and then you got to read the schematics, and if you don't have that, it's like a whole long process. What's the point of the story? Long story short, he fixed the thing, and I found out that the thing's worth at least 6 digits, and that's why I'm bringing this up now. So I think it's sick that you have a custom one. The point now being is that if you have one, make sure you maintain it, because it's not cheap. It's not cheap to fix. I hope you know how to use it. I've never gotten it because you're out in the open. Like, you have a lot of open space. I've never gotten a chance to drive one around. It'd be so much fun, but they never let me have any fun. So if you're out in the open, oh my gosh, drive around in the thing. I want to see. That's like the dream. Anyhow, I think I've covered everything that I need to tell you. The last thing I need to tell you. God, I spent half an hour just talking directly to you. Okay, last thing I need to tell you. Okay, so I had a dream. Okay, I didn't record the date and time. I don't remember why I didn't do that. no, so it was strange, right? So again, I'm going through all of this stuff. I'm like looking at machine schematics. I'm dealing with my own personal issues. And other things, right? So there's so many things going on. So the last thing I wanted to tell you is I had this dream, right? So it had to be closer to around the time when I filmed the last video, okay? So in this dream, there's a whole bunch of like different people talking to me. Like the background keeps changing. It's really sunny. In the dream, it's so sunny that day. Like it's like blinding. Like I need sunglasses. Like the way I'm seeing this in my sleep. I run into a couple people. Like there's so many people. Like I keep running into someone else, and someone else who's talking to me. And then at some point you reach up to me in the dream, right? I don't remember what happened. I just remember you came to get me and told me to follow you into this like next room, right? So like the room here, the doorways here, I'm like really I just reached up with you here. You went straight through this door. So I'm looking around because I was talking to someone else, and then you saw me, and then you came to get me, and then you went on ahead into the next room over. I'm still here. I don't know if I was finishing up a conversation with someone else or what was going on. But I remember I was like in a hurry to catch back up with you because I was like, I don't want to separate from you. Like you're the only one I feel close enough with in this whole room, right? So I'm feeling uncomfortable until you show up, right? So then I leave this room and I walked into this new room. There's this giant window here, and the sunlight's even more blinding, right? And you go to sit right, like the window's there, and you're sitting right there on the ground. You're on the ground. You're sitting on the ground, right, like where this window is. There's other people in this room, and I don't. I only know you, so I come to sit right beside you. I come close. I come right beside you. I was like, oh my god, like don't leave me. So I come to sit right beside you, and you don't acknowledge me, right? You don't like call out for me. Like as soon as I walked in the room, you didn't call out for me or anything. I had to find you, and I came to sit beside you, and I'm looking at you, and I'm like, you're looking directly at something, right? You're not breaking eye contact. So I'm looking in your eye direction now because I want to see what you're looking at. I was like, you didn't pay attention to me one bit, right?